welcome. So wonderful to be here with you on this beautiful Mother's Day. And I know for many, it's not a day of celebration. Maybe we've lost our mothers, or maybe there is certain things that prevent us from celebrating in a fashion that is unitive, and I'd like us to do that together today. So let's go ahead and have all of our mothers stand up. Yes. Online as well. How about some grandmothers? How about some adopted mothers? Either you have adopted or been adopted. Spiritual mothers, our gracious mothers, yes. Fur baby mothers, come on. And anyone who has a mother, let's just all stand up. And just for a moment, let's think about Mother Earth and send our love to her. She blesses and she gives us so much sustenance, doesn't she? And everything comes from her. So go ahead and have a seat. I'd like us to go ahead now and welcome up our special guests, musicians. Yes, Tristy and Alexandra.
All my plants have gone to seed. Some I planted on my own. Some have never needed me. Farther than the eye can see, flown like arrows from my bow, falling where I'll never know. Golden limbs may spring from the heather, but I may never see them again. All my friends have gone to sea. Some are fishing, some afloat, some are wishing they were home. My old friends are rolling free. Some I miss and some I don't. I hope no one's missing me. Golden songs may be sung in fine weather, but I may never see them again. Looking forward to going to sea, count my blessings when I go. Looking forward to being home. Taking cuttings from my trees, fletching arrows for my bow, living, loving, letting go. Golden limbs will spring from the feathered end, but I may never see them again. I may never see them again. Looking forward to going to sea, count my blessings when I go. Looking forward.
Thank you. That was delightful. Good morning. I'm Deb, the practitioner of today at the Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham. And I haven't said this in a long, long time, but please silence your cell phones. I gotta say it. Anyway, so please take a deep breath with me. It is such a blessing to be here with you, to see all your faces in person. I see the clouds, I see your faces, I see the trees, I see the flowers. My nose knows the flowers because it's stuffed up. And I am brought to spirit, the deep essence of spirit, spirit that is everywhere, everywhen, and always. And I know that this community, each one of you, our minister Zina's words, will fill this place with even more love, connection, and depth, richness. I am so grateful for this day of living, this community, spirit for loving. I am so grateful. And I release these words, and I release them out to the law of cause and effect, knowing that that is where manifestation happens. And I know that my words are so. And I say, and so it is.
Thank you so much, Deb, and thank you so much for the beautiful song that you sang for us today. I am so, so happy to be here with you. I don't think I introduced, I think I'm still trying to put it on like a sweater. Reverend Zina, Kacha. I've only said it like 5 times only so far, so I get to say it, and it's such an honor to say it and to be it and to be here with you today. I'm very excited to continue with our annual theme, which is grounded in spirit. And I think for many of us, this 2022 is a perfect time to continue to really lean in to spiritual principles that have been eternal and have always been a source of a peace within and a harmony and a feeling of well-being. Our monthly themes have followed for 5 months already. It's hard to believe we're already in May. And this month's theme is contemplation and action. I want to frame it a little bit in this regard. When we're thinking of contemplation, it really is that deep place, that silent place that we go to have a communion with that inner presence that is within each of us. And when we're in action, from that place, we begin to have a direction that is more centered on an idea of bringing that which is our specialized gift into the world. And so rather than it being contemplation and action, I'd like to invite us to use what Emma Curtis Hopkins reminded us of, and that's the union of opposites. It's not either or. It's actually a unified wholeness in which we walk, live, and have our being. So today my topic is the torch lighting our path. And I'm really excited to bring this to you because I think it's important right now. I think it's important for each of us to come to some understanding within ourselves about the power that we have by honoring our specialized, unique gift that we can give to the world. And like many of us, I have had and been blessed with so many spiritual teachers. And today I'd like to share a little bit about my loving Sufi sheikh, and he's one of the very few American Sufi sheiks here in the United States, and his name is Dr. Robert Frager, and his book is Sufi Talks. He came into my life when I was really needing to have clarity about this thing that I've chosen to do. Is it that I have chosen to be spiritual, or have I chosen to be spiritual and to bring that spiritual consciousness into the world? And it's a scary proposition, at least it was for me. And he guided me in really understanding that there is a direct relationship with the divine that is always happening. And the only marker or distance between the reality of that and it being felt and experienced is our awareness. And so I'd like to share with you a little bit about what he has to say. We have all used this excuse. I'll become serious about my spiritual path when I have more spare time. Maybe when I retire. When my children are grown. Or sometime in the future, I will devote myself to seeking the God within. We think we have a guarantee that we will live so long and continue to have the strength and vitality to pursue this path. He goes on to talk about a story about a man named Abraham. And Abraham is really interesting because he is a sultan, and he pilgrimaged to this Mount High, created this beautiful Bok, which is this beautiful city in the desert. And he built a mosque and a palace, and the streets were all lined with beautiful cobblestone. The architecture was magnificent. There was Persian rugs of every design and style, beautiful fabrics and colors. And the thing is that Abraham created all of that, and somehow in his mind, he thought that he had created everything, that the people needed him, that if it wasn't for him, all of these blessings and everything that was given to his people would not be possible. So this fine day, Spirit decided to give Abraham a little bit of a reality check. And this is the story that I'd like to share. Abraham went out hunting with a group of companions. As they were eating lunch, a bird swooped down and grabbed a piece of bread from Abraham's plate. Abraham realized something strange was happening, but he became curious. So he followed the bird. He came to a clearing and saw the bird drop the bread into the mouth of a man who was tied to the tree. The man asked, "Oh my gosh, you're here. Please, would you please untie me? I've been here for days hoping someone might come along and rescue me." "Oh my, what happened to you? How did you survive tied up for so long?" "I was robbed by bandits, and they left me tied here. Birds have brought me food every day. And each day, a few rain clouds that pass over have dropped water into my mouth as I've opened it." At that moment, like for many of us, that spiritual awakening, that aha moment, Abraham realized that God, Spirit, is constantly taking care of all of its creation. I know for me that I have learned that through time, because I was very much like Abraham. Before I came into the School of Ministry, I was really in this mindset of making things happen. For me, the longest journey has been the journey from the heart, from the head to the heart. And if we measure it, they say that it's the longest 18-inch journey you will ever take. and it's true, and it was true for me. I remember in 2017, my whole entire reality altered. I was shaken by a vision that was so profound that I didn't even know what was really happening. In fact, I still don't really know what it was in its entirety. And what I can tell you without telling the details of it, because it is a very private experience, is that in that moment, I began to recognize there was a mandate on my heart. And it was this: be love, see love, and bring love. It was completely alien to me, and it has not been easy. And many of us are in this situation as I'm speaking about it and can relate, can't we? What's happening to the world? We're tied up. Are the birds going to come and feed us? What's going on? Why is there so much hate? Why are people suffering? And yet, there is this call upon our heart to continue to be steadfast in the idea of bringing love to the world. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind and Spirit, was very, very forthright in reminding us that our whole theory, everything that we rest upon, is that we live in a living, breathing universe. And so when I think about that, when I think about a living, breathing universe, then I have to think there's emotion involved, right? That there's feeling and there's imagination and there's all of these possibilities that are available to us. Regardless of the fact that it's an invisible thing, because it's very, very challenging to sit and say, God came to me and there he or she was, and walking through the world and remembering that is so important, but not easy. Ernest Holmes also, in his seminal work, which was basically building this theory, and this is the theory that I'm inviting us to explore today. 3/4 of the text of the Science of Mind is a hypothesis that has 2 questions. Do I believe in spirit, infinite life, a loving intelligence that permeates all of life? Or do I not? And he goes through a series of inquiries into, we think, convincing us because he is considered to be a teacher. But if you look very deeply into Ernest Holmes' writings, he was really convincing himself too. Because it is the age-old question in our mind, isn't it? Is spirit or is spirit not? So when you get to about page 423 of the book, I love that he gives us the conclusion of it. And he says it's his final conclusion. I mean, I don't know. There's some speculation here, but let's see if we agree. Okay. In conclusion, what the world needs is spiritual conviction, followed by spiritual experience. I would rather see a student of this science prove its principles than to have him repeat all the words of wisdom that he finds within the books and history uttered to mankind. It is far easier to teach the truth than it is to practice it. Yeah. But the practice of truth is personal to everyone, each of us. It's our inquiry. It's our hypothesis. It's the question that we remain with. And it's the question that we are required to respond to and answer according to our own belief. He goes on to say that everybody is given a gift, and how we shall use this gift is all that matters. It's the only thing that really matters, is the gifts that we've been given in this world and using them to bring blessing and love to mankind and humankind and all sentient beings. That's my mandate. I believe it in my heart, and I've always, no matter what, thought to myself, there is something in love happening here, no matter what was happening. And so I'm really kind of engaging in this idea about Ernest Holmes, and what he says in the end is that it's not easy. It's not easy to stand in love. It's not easy to be in peace. I mean, I'm human, you're human. I'll give you an example. I was walking my dog the other day, and I'm walking my dog, and a car is coming to me, and I don't know, when you're a pedestrian, the car looked like it was coming pretty fast, and I had a kind of a reaction, like I put my hands up to please slow down. And it was so interesting because this is something I want to share because of how I recognize that it really connects to how we operate in life. I came from a place of fear, which, I'm a pedestrian with a dog and a car's coming. The person in the car took it upon himself that I was correcting him. And so to my surprise, a car turned around and made a U-turn and came back to face me face to face. And I had two opportunities at that moment. It was to take the fear that I was feeling and intensified by the action and reaction, and I had a visceral reaction inside myself. I was like, run. And I don't know where it came from, but I just stood in my ground. And I, was receptive to not being abused, obviously, but to hearing his side of the story. And I said, I understand, and I am here walking. And I think he understood, too, that I had no protection and he was in a vehicle. Why I bring this up to us today is not to say, oh my goodness, look at Zina. Reverend Zina can handle disasters in her life. That may be true. But why I bring that up is that it really does matter how we face the world, how we respond. Because the world is being the world. Activities are being activities. Consciousness, conditioning, all of this historical data that we've built around death, disease, poverty, having different socioeconomic scales, inequities, all of these things are in the fabric of the human experience, whether we like it or not. Yet our reaction, how we face what is happening, how we present while things are happening, for me is vitally important in the part that I call my spiritual life living in the world. And I hope that that is something that we can all kind of agree on, that we do have a certain responsibility to going what Ernest Holmes says, beyond that point of conviction and actually having the experience of spirit. Allowing spirit to go before us, regardless of what we might be facing in our life. Even to some degree, depending on that and believing it no matter what. I'm also really interested in this idea of love because I think I brought it up. This idea of love, of really, really putting ourselves out to a love that is beyond our understanding. Really, really allowing our vulnerabilities to kind of come out and letting others know how we are experiencing life at any given time is super important. Being there for each other in regards to not trying to figure out how to fix or make a situation better in our minds, but really surrounding and encompassing those that we are in contact with, regardless of their intimacy with us, whether it's a close friend or a companion or a stranger on the streets. Really, really bringing forward that loving presence that is ours to give to the world. No one can take that away from us. Nothing in the world can diminish that. That presence is in each of us, and it is yearning to come out because it is the change that we are all looking for. I believe in a radical kind of love, an inclusive kind of love, a love that is absolutely boundless. And I've learned to believe in a love that is defenseless, to really let my guard down and let people see what's happening, and to feel the support and nurturing that has come in from this community for sure, and everyone else who I have been able to open my heart to. I want that experience for all of us. And I think it's our birthright. I really, really do. And it's not just in spiritual communities that it can happen. It can happen just by bringing our presence out into the world and understanding that we are carried by a great, magnificent, maybe invisible, but a constant, loving intelligence that is working through us. Thich Nhat Hanh, and I'll close with this and then bring us into our prayer. He speaks to us about love in a way that is probably, like, it's so easy the way that the sort of conditions of the world are right now, to kind of put ourselves in this idea that we're the first generation that has ever known agony and pain or distrust or challenges. And his whole ministry was built on the fact that he was here teaching Americans and Vietnamese people to come to some understanding of a unit of peace and a unit of love. His poem, "The Fruit of Awareness is Ripe," sits with me, and I hope that it will sit with you as you move through your week. When I knew how to love, the doors of my heart open wide before the wind. I love that because we don't own the love we give, do we? No. And the wind carries it, and it might land like it did for Abraham that day when he was able to untie the man, even though he had sustenance, even though the birds came and fed him and the water came from the open sky to nurture and quench his thirst. He still needed a person to liberate him, and he liberated him in love. Reality is calling us to a revolution. The spirit of this revolution is a practice of transformative love. Transformative love to me is when we're able to look at it, no matter how ugly it is, and see within it the beauty that exists. And I hope that we can all do that first and foremost for ourselves, in our families, in our communities, and together I think we can really torch our lights and bring that out into the world and light the path that is ours to light. And so with that being said, I would like to just bring us into a prayer, and we have a closing song. Yes, fantastic. Okay. Just closing our eyes and just being in this wondrous place, this place that is so beaming with love and beaming with that idea of the archetype of mother that is always giving, nurturing, and caring, that wondrous, wondrous energy of life itself. So happy to be here in the presence of each of us, to gather here doing this thing, with this thing, as this thing, living in love and bringing love forward as our very embodiment of who we are. And so I am so grateful for this wondrous day. I bless us all in going out and doing all that makes us happy today and giving that happiness to the wind, like Thich Nhat Hanh says, letting it flow and letting it germinate all that it touches. And so with this grateful heart, I surrender and let it go into the flow that is, and I know that it is good. And I ask you to say with me now, and so it is.
I am not my father, I'm not my partner, I'm not my child. I'm not my life and body, I am not my failures or desires. I'm not these words I'm writing, I am not the colors in my eyes. I am nothing. I am nothing, and it feels so good, feels so full to be empty, empty. It feels so good, feels so fine to be. I am not my demons, I'm not my lover, I am not my fault, I'm not my future creation, I'm not my legacy, I am not my art, I'm not my name, I am not my traits, I'm not my faith or my regret. I'm not the friendship that I've lost. I'm not my thoughts. I am not my thoughts. I am nothing. I am nothing. I am nothing. I am nothing, and it feels so good, feels so full to be empty, empty. It feels so good, feels so fine to be. I am nothing. I am nothing. I am nothing. I am nothing, and it feels so good, feels so full to be empty, empty. Feels so good, feels so free to be.
Thank you so, so much. Okay, I think we have one other blessing song from, yeah. Yeah, I think we are at the completion, yes. Yes. More, yes, yes. Yeah.
So we'll do echo style, and then we can sing it together.
Shine bright like a lantern in the gathering eve. Shine bright like a lantern in the gathering eve. Shine bright like a lighthouse in a following sea. Shine bright like a lighthouse in a following sea. Stars in the sky dome, dark fallen moon rising. Stars in the sky dome, dark fallen moon rising. Shine bright like a light, shine bright like a light shines. Shine bright like a light, shine bright like a light shines. Once more, echo. Shine bright like a lantern in the gathering eve. Shine bright like a lantern in the gathering eve. Shine bright like a lighthouse in a following sea. Shine bright like a lighthouse in a following sea. Stars in the sky dome, dark fallen moon rising. Stars in the sky dome, dark fallen moon rising. Shine bright like a light, shine bright like a light shines. Shine bright like a light, shine bright like a light shines. All together. Shine bright like a lantern in the gathering eve. Shine bright like a lighthouse in a following sea. Stars in the sky dome, dark fallen moon rising. Shine bright like a light, shine bright like a light shines. Again. Shine bright like a lantern in the gathering eve. Shine bright like a lighthouse in a following sea. Stars in the sky dome, dark fallen moon rising. Shine bright like a light, shine bright like a light shines. That part once more. Shine bright like a light, shine bright like a light shines.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, well, we are at the end of service, and I have a few announcements. So I'm just going to put this stuff away here and tell you all about what is happening here at our fine center. So Gourmets for Good, we are continuing to have bidding this Sunday, and the final bidding will be next Sunday. We have a bunch of different offerings that you can read about here. Okay, that's the biggest Gourmet for Good right there. The tents are outside here. After service, you can go and retrieve a bidding number and then go around and read all of the different descriptions of the different dinners and experiences that will be offered by a variety of hosts pretty much throughout the summer months. So it's a super great way for the center to bring everybody together in small groups and have some intimate fun eating and an experience together. I also want to mention today is our men's group, so anyone who identifies as male, that group will be meeting in the classroom at 12 noon. Well, we still have time. Don't tell Dr. A. Reverend Zina went a little over today. Shh. Be our little secret. And so we'd like you to go there at 12 noon. It's a integrated offering, so you can zoom in, and that can be found at CSL. The Zoom link can be found at csl-bellingham.com. Also want to mention that our Women's Circle is now only in person, and we'll be meeting at the back room here, which is the classroom, next Sunday, and it's at 12:15. And that will be kind of a return because we did take Easter off a couple last week, yes. Beginning with Amber, who's our music director, she'll be starting a 6-week, beginning May 17th to June 21st, 7 to 8 p.m., and it's a beginning ukulele class. So if you've ever had aspirations to play the ukulele, please do come and join this group that will be meeting for 6 consecutive weeks. We're looking for people to join the mow team. So any mowers out there, it's super fun. You get on a mowing there. All right, we already have one, yes. Woohoo, all right. Be great if we get a couple of volunteers through the summer, because now we know spring, and many people have said about their sinuses. I'm new to the region, and yes, it is true. I think I might have allergies. So what I'd like to do is invite us to support Joe Aspito, who's been part of the mow team and organizing the mow team, and he can use some help. So please do email info@csl-bellingham.org and put your name on the list. Even if it's once during the summer, we accept that, or if it's multiple times, see your name there. And that's about all we have for today. I hope you all enjoy your Mother's Day. Have a blessed time, shine your light, and bring love to the world. Love you all.